Well, hello, and welcome to the third segment of the business of living. Who does not want to profit from a well-managed life? I know I do. And I know in areas of my life, I have. When I apply it, I too have to make sure I apply it. I too have to make sure I don't get lazy and lose focus, right? So what we're doing is, if you're just catching on, first, hi, I'm Dr. Carla Michelle, and it's a pleasure to have this time with you. As always, I am the founder and CEO of of CM Coaching and Consulting Services Incorporated. Woo! Okay, you can always visit drcarlainc.com. That's drcarlainc.com for more information. And if you are someone who would like to find out more information and how we can work together. So, as we move forward in this third segment, this segment is practical steps to implementing a business mindset in life, a business mindset in life. So practical steps. So in our 1 and 2, we talked about the importance of looking at, and we'll continue to do this, what if you lived your life like a business? What if you really saw your life with a vision, the mission, the value, the growth you could have, the goals you can achieve, and you really looked at it that way? So many times we work for companies, organizations, or we have our own, and we put more time into the business or the organization that we work for more than we do our personal lives. And maybe because that's how we were socialized. Maybe that's when we grow up, we are asked, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And we don't really focus on how do you want to feel when you grow up? What do you want your life to look like when you grow up? So we are socialized around getting something done or having a career. Um, and is that bad? No, because it helps, but should we be more aware of the harmony that is needed between our professional life and our personal life? And what if we switched more of that professional mindset into our personal mindset, but we still have the heart involved? We're not just dictatorships in our relationships or in our lives. We are kind to ourselves as we consider what we can implement in our life from business viewpoint into a personal win. So I invite you to continue to walk through this with me as we discover more and ask more and feel more. And there's just opportunity. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm still, if you've been watching, I'm still in Paris and I'm recording, and I'm looking at, it looks like something different is up by the Eiffel Tower. So excuse me. I wanted to really focus on how we can utilize the business mindset and how we conduct our life, how we develop the things that we want in our life, the plan, how regular check-ins are important, and investing in yourself. We talked about whether it's school, it can be YouTube, it can be books, investing in yourself in some other ways as well, we'll get into. And then we'll talk about a strong network and the importance, and what does that look like? Because some people do not like to network. So we'll think about it, because I think even your friends is a form of networking. And if they are not, well, I won't. I mean, you need to have friends, but there should be some friends who also think like you, right? That's where I'm going to, and that's why I paused. But I wanted to get into that a little deeper later. So how can you conduct an audit of your life? How can you practically conduct an audit of your life? When a company is looking to lay off, they'll ask you, so what do you do? What is your position? send me all the information of all the things your position does, right? They want to know. They want to know, they want you to catalog all of your work so they can track it or have it just in case something happens, they have that information and they don't have to chase you down if you decide to quit or if something happens with the company. When we talk about life audit, though, we're thinking about, as we said in part two, is the segments of your life. Like, what do you, the segments of your life, the parts of your life, like, what are you doing with your time, your money, and your energy? So I want you to conduct that kind of audit on yourself on a deeper scale, right? And once you do that, once you say, this is what I'm doing with my time, this is what my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday outside of work looks like. And then you can, or Monday through Sunday, what this time out of work looks like. And then you can also think about how, if it's looking that way, you're gonna have that, right? You then can consider, what do you want to do differently with that time? What do you see yourself doing differently? Whether it's when you get off of work or whether it's, how you spend your weekend. And rest is included in this. This is not about making yourself busy after the times that you're not working, but this is about having a well-managed life so that you have it where the clothes are not piling up in the corners or the dishes are stacked up and you're not getting to them. Where in your life can the adjustments be? Does the project you're working on take all your time? And this is the time to consider, how can I get home a little earlier? Or if you're working from home, how can I use my lunch more towards the good of the development of the life that I want? So some of what I want you to do when it comes to the visions and the values and the life audit, it's just also seeing what else can be done outside of the matching of what's happening now and what you could do, is to remember to add, how do you want to feel? Don't forget that it's not just what it can look like, it's what also, how do you want it to feel when you're conducting that life audit? When you're thinking about developing a life plan, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? Long-term, short-term, however you would like to see it. I'm thinking about, okay, work with me here. And I don't know if this is out here, but what if you get a pair of dice and you roll the dice, and before you roll the dice, though, you have whatever numbers it can go up to the dice when they roll. Is it 12? Something like that? This might be more. I don't know. I think it's 12. But roll the dice, and from whatever the, one, I mean, it's snake eyes. So 2 to whatever the highest number you can roll in dice, you have some opportunities that you would like to focus on. So we're going to roll the dice, pick a day, we're going to roll a dice, and whatever is aligned with that number, that is your focus for the day. That's something practical. That's something that can get exciting. That's something that can push you outside of your comfort zone of what of just, just kind of taking everything in at one time. So you can try that, roll the dice to plan my life. Roll the dice to plan my life. Hey, and then somebody's smart enough, they create a game. I guess I was smart enough, I would create the game. But roll the dice to create the life that you're looking for, to manage the life that you're working towards, right? So rolling the dice, what other one did I have? Journaling. Yes, I know it's common. Some people don't like to journal, but you don't even have to journal. Listen, hear me out. You don't have to journal. Sometimes you can grab just a piece of paper and write something down. And what I would like you to consider writing down is, either I want you to write the answer to the questions that are rolling in your head at the moment. And I'm talking about these are the things that you can't do anything else. Like it has you freezing, it has you frozen in place and paralyzed in thought that you just can't seem to get away from it. So taking that piece of paper and just brainstorming on the answer. Just brainstorming on the answer. Not, you don't got to pull out your notebook. Yeah, you can pull out a piece of toilet paper, whatever you need, and jot down like various answers, right? Another way you can look at it, if you're going to journal or grab a piece of paper, whatever makes your brain take it in, it's also the act like that your life depended on you getting an answer. You getting the answer. And what does that look like? Or your life depended on it, you making a decision now and not calling someone. I mean, not saying, wisdom is good, if you need that feedback, but then you have to check yourself. Are you always asking for people's opinion where you cannot make your own and that you don't trust your own opinion? So that's something to consider. The end result, what do you need? How do you want it to turn out? If you need to make a decision now, how do you want to feel? How do you want to look? And you need to make the decision. And the other one is act like you're talking to someone else is talking. When you're writing, it's someone else. Who's that person? I chuckle when my clients say, I can hear you in my head, Dr. Carla. I can hear you in my head. So if you're one of my clients watching this, how would you write the answer to that thing that has you stumped? How would you write out or develop a life plan? How would you conduct a life audit if it was someone else that was giving you that insight, giving you that insight? Giving you that insight just over and over, right? Take on, it could be like someone who's really nice, different personalities that are giving you the answer or giving you direction or talking to you about your next step. You can have that grandmother or that person that meant a lot to you that came with that sweet spirit, right? Or you can have that very authoritative spirit that you like, that person, that character or characteristic that really helped you kind of get through. You can get to that person who's kind of like, who really had confidence in you, who really believes in you, so writing based on those voices, those thoughts, that characteristic that helps you come up with something that makes your life when you're going through something or you have to make a decision or you're just trying to figure where you want to be today and how you want to even handle if you do the roll the dice game and you want to focus on something, what would they do? How would they talk to you and how would you handle? And another thing I want to say about the rolling the dice to to manage your life. I got to remember my game. Roll the dice to manage your life this is the one thing you focus on. Now you can choose a day, you can choose a couple of days, or you can choose a week, or you can choose a month. But this is the thing that you focus on. This thing that is aligned with whatever number that you rolled, you are going to keep score, you're going to keep records, you're going to keep data, you're going to gather the data behind why, what, how, what needs to change, what is good about it, what needs to be, whatever to get to where you need to be with that focus, you are monitoring that and watching the end results. You're going to check in with yourself, right? All right. So the next one is good to understand where the gaps are. Looking at your life, they have KPIs in business, key performance indicators that can know that you are performing on target. So what are your KPIs? What's going to show you that your performance is on target? So you can rate yourself at the end of the week, the month, the day, the year. Where are the gaps? And what can you fill with the gaps to help you get to that performance level that you see yourself performing in your life or experiencing in your life? What's missing and what do you need to put there? All right. The other one is, the CEO. The CEO, a practical step to implementing a business mindset in your life is to play the role of the CEO of your personal life. Now, many can probably be the CEO of a business, and maybe you don't even do good at that. Who knows? But we're gonna roll it into personal life. And how would you play the CEO in your personal life? Who do you need to fire? Who do you need to hire? Who do you need to lay off? Right? Everything's going well, but I need to get this one right here. I ain't got the time, the space, the money, the energy. I got to lay this group off or these people off, right? What's the other one I had? Who needs to take a leave of absence or who's asking for a leave of absence? And you need to just go ahead and say, yes, yes, and yes again. All right. Who needs promoted? Who needs to who is ready for a promotion, right? Who's ready? Who's ready to know more about you? Who's ready to be a part of your circle? Who's ready? Who's ready to take the next step in whatever area of your life that you've been working on or have in your vision or in your goals or in your mission or aligns with your values? Who needs to be promoted? And then who needs to make partner or be a part of your executive team? So if you look at life as a CEO and ask yourself who needs to be fired, hired, promoted, make partner, part of your executive team, your board of directors, your chairperson. I mean, there are things that you should think about. And you should know. And then if you're surrounded with no one who can fill those positions, then you should think more about the people that are around you because someone should fill something in your business, in your life, in your business of life. Someone should be filling that up, filling those positions some kind of way. Now, do you have to have all the positions filled? No. But you should be able to promote somebody sometime in your life. You should be able to make someone a partner and a part of your executive team or the chairperson. You should be able to understand who needs to be laid off or granted or understood that they need a leave of absence. So think about that as you think about the practical steps that you can take with a business mindset when it comes to your life. And then another one is, what is this? Oh, we did that. We did the dice game. Um, Well, another one I wanted to, when it comes to your check-ins and reviewing your life, are you on track? Do you need to pivot, adjust, or strategize? Um, that's another thing. You always want to know with anything you're doing, whether it's journaling or whether it's filling the gaps, whether it's being the CEO, whether it's rolling the dice, what does needs to be changed? What thing that used to work in your life is no longer working anymore? If you look at businesses or organizations, they are kind of always looking at something that they can change to stay relevant. What are you doing to stay relevant? Is there a skill set? Is there your communication style, your leadership style in your home, your leadership style in your home, your communication style in your home? You know, experiment with other types of styles. Just because you say that's how I am doesn't mean you have to stay that way, especially if it's not working. If you're the quiet type and you take a long time to get your words out about how you feel, have you thought about working on that? You know, rolling the dice, making it one of your numbers and making that focus that I'm going to speak up a little faster, right? I'm not gonna, to be the passive aggressive person, right? Or the other person who's so emotional and can't hold anything and just lets everything out. What about changing and adjusting your communication style? What about the one who's judgmental and always thinks they have the right answer and always knows what to say? or talks about people behind their back and makes opinions about things without getting all the information. Changing your communication style, experimenting with another leadership style in your home. If you're the one that sits back and then you're the type that's kind of laissez-faire, you're just, is that a word? I just make up stuff sometimes. You're just more like that lazy leader. Like you do all the work and then I take all the credit. Is it time to adjust that type of leadership style? Is it the one where you're always cheering everybody on, but you're not doing anything for yourself? Is it time to change that leadership style? Are you the one that has all the ideas and doesn't let anybody do anything because you like it a certain way and want to control the in and the out, the vertical and the horizontal, as my mom would say? Changing that style. So experiment with being different. Experiment, not just, we can travel, we can get another job, we can change status, whatever you see, but do you understand that you can experiment with the things you think are just you? Like, I don't do this. Experiment and see if it's something that's going to help you. Experiment and see if it will work. Well, I don't dance. I don't like to dance. Well, can you just think about dancing a little? Maybe you never know what it can do for you. Experiment is what I'm saying. Find something that you are so gung-ho about of not doing, but you really don't have a reason why you're not doing it. I ask you to experiment, to be curious, to really be curious about what's out there. You want to stay relevant in your personal life? Have some more curiosity about life. Have curiosity, ask some questions, do some research. Business is about research and development, right? Research and develop something. Find out more about your life so you can develop more things in your life, so you can be, accomplish, and enjoy some other things that may come your way. Refine strategies. We talked about that. Refining the strategy once you've changed some of your leadership style, your communication style, your emotional style. I don't even know if that's such a thing, but emotional style. You know, where you're probably going to need to redefine or refine your strategy, your vision, your mission, your values, your goals may shift because now you've been curious. You're out there experimenting. You're adjusting. You're feeling the world differently. You're hearing the world differently. You're seeing people differently. So it might cause you to restructure your strategy. Another one is to always remember to do and to remember not to do. Well, to do, remember to celebrate what's working. When you're thinking about your life audit or developing a life plan or investing in yourself, think about what's working. Think about what's working. And I'm all about celebrating the wins. I'm all about monetizing the nothingness that you think is nothing and putting a dollar sign around it so that it can blow up and you can go and do and experience life in a different way. So it's about what's working and what are you holding back from working? What are you holding back from working for you to have the life that you say you want, the vision, the values, the goals, the mission? You say you want this, but you're holding back something that can take you directly to the destination. And another thing you can do, when you think about practical steps of implementing a business mindset in your life, you think about getting around some good people and brainstorming. Just brainstorming, you know? How can I change my communication style? Well, get the input if that's what you need, right? It doesn't always have to be research on the computer or anything. It can be, hey, you're out for drinks, you're out for dinner, you're on the phone, you're doing all these FaceTime. Let's brainstorm about some communication styles I can consider along with what I know that works. brainstorming, utilizing masterminds were, we call them masterminds because you got these masters with these minds and the things that they're dropping on us with all the wisdom and what they've learned. You too can have a mastermind. You too can have a mastermind around your focus, around everyone's focus. You tell them, hey, what do you want to change? We can roll the dice. Here we go, making this game great. We can roll the dice to change our lives, to manage our lives. And we're going to play this game and we're going to talk about our focus and we're going to brainstorm on how we're going to get this focus going. Another one is to, what did I have here? Oh, man. Wow. I can't read my writing. But I do want to talk about human, I don't know what that is. Hmm. Let's talk about the building a strong network, how we are told in business that a network is strong and who you know, because sometimes it isn't who you know when you're looking to get the job done or get hired for a job. It is about sometimes who you know, like you and I know I work with this person. Oh, and they know this person. And so maybe I can connect, or asking someone, when I worked with a client, they reached out to their whole network and let it be known that they were looking for new employment. And well, actually, a couple of clients do that, and maybe something, how you want something to work. But what about your personal network too? Of the people that you surround yourself with. And we say you need a strong network, but I'm going to use my definition of strong. You need a network of people who think strategically. You need a network of people who understands the power of their talent and people's talents. You need a network of people who are resilient, who understand the bounce back theory, who understands that um, you got to keep going. Even you can take a break, but you still got to get up, right? Or you still got to move a little bit somewhere in there eventually. We cannot stay down forever. You got to be around that network of people who understand how necessary they are in this world and what they bring to this world. You got to have that type of network, someone who thinks they can go beyond just this little circle that they're in and impact in other ways. You don't have to do it my way. But what does global look like to you? What does a reach look like to them? And get around those people that understand that not just, we all do the same thing, but we all think the same way, are similar in the sense of growth, similar in the way of seeing business as an opportunity, a tool, business as a tool to help our lives to become a well-managed life. Someone who they don't think like that, but they act like that. So if they act like that, they possibly think like that, but they probably don't know that that's the thought process that is happening. So go ahead and get yourself that network. Do your regular check-ins, whatever that looks like with yourself. I talked about that in part 2. Do your check-ins, if it's daily, weekly, monthly. Mine are monthly. I do them at the beginning of the month to talk about the past month. And I go over my wins. I talk about any obstacles that are in the way for me achieving anything. And the obstacles sometimes is me. And sometimes it's something that I need to learn by the delay of something not happening on the timetable that I want. So taking those regular check-ins and actually documenting it, really not just kind of sitting. You can think and look around and love the environment that you're in, but what if you're writing it down to where you can go back at the end of the year and you can see your wins? When I was working, I would keep a file, like a CYA, cover your ass file, because I always we have to give our feedback in our performance review. So you have the whole year, and I don't know why we cover your ass, but it is something that helps you stand up and be able to verbalize or show what you've done, and where, whether it's the accolades of someone saying, hey, great job, in an email, whether it's something you created, whether it's a project that you and another team member, I mean, you both can take the win, right? But it's your part that you've played in it. When you saved something, when something was going down and you came to the rescue, when you had a bright idea, when you thought outside the box, when you introduced something to the team, that stuff, So that's what you want to do in your personal life. When did you think outside the box? When did you do something for yourself and your family that really made a difference? What is it that the talent that you bring, or the one you're working on, that really impacted in 2024? Think about the personal side of the CYA. And you know what a CYA can help you in your personal life is when you're having those down days and you really don't believe that anyone sees who you are and what you've done and the kind of person that you are deep down. You can look back at that file and you can say, or that feedback that you've done with your check-ins, and you can see your wins. You can see exactly what you've done. You can exactly say, when someone says, like, what's been going on in your life, you will actually have an answer, and not just girl or guy or, oh my, let me tell you, dude, let me check this out. Let me tell you, I don't know how guys talk, but something that helps you not just to say it's the same old same, because nothing is the same old same. Either you're going down or you're going up. You ain't really staying the same. Life is moving, so you're not keeping the same. Either you're being left behind, or you're in the pack, or you're ahead of the pack. You're not the same. So everything is not same old, same old. And if it is same old, we are talking about practical steps to help you implement a business mindset in your life. And you can't go to work and not meet the goals. You can't go to work and not do the assignments that are given to you. You can't go to work and not meet the expectations and expect to keep the job or expect to get the paycheck. So in our personal lives, we cannot expect our life to be something that we say we want it to be, and we're not focused on doing the action items that get us there. So that is coming to a close. That is part 3, practical steps to implementing a business mindset in your life. Conducting a life audit, thinking about those games that we can play. You can journal, doing something different, experimenting, being more creative in life, being more curious, changing up the way you communicate, the way you lead in your personal life, the way you don't lead in your personal life. Think of things that you can borrow from business and bring it into your life and make a difference. All right. This is Dr. Carla Michelle. And as always, it is a pleasure to have this time with you. Go back, and if you haven't, listened to part 1 and 2, and share it with a friend. Go ahead and send them the link. And you can also, this is on my podcast. The Strong Network podcast is on YouTube, as well as on wherever you listen to podcasts. All righty. The video's on YouTube, the audio is on the podcast. And thank you so much. Once again, reach out, hello@drcarlainc.com, or visit the web, drcarlainc.com, and there's a information sheet there. I look forward to talking with you and hearing from you, and take care of yourself until next time. I'll see you soon.